The Unseen Neighbor, a haunting experience. The camera opens on an empty apartment. The only sound is the creak of the wooden floorboards. Jake, a young man in his mid-20s, is moving into a new place. He's carrying boxes, setting up furniture. He seems excited, but a little tired from the move. Jake thought this place was perfect. Quiet neighborhood, affordable, peaceful. But it wasn't the kind of peace he was looking for. He walks over to the window, peeking out. The street outside looks serene, just a few houses, trees swaying in the breeze. But as he glances at the house across from his apartment, he notices the curtains twitch slightly, as if someone's watching him. Later that night, Jake sits down to eat dinner alone. The lights flicker a little and a strange chill fills the room. He brushes it off as nothing, but then his phone buzzes. It's a message from his new neighbor, Emily. Text on screen. "Hey, just wanted to welcome you to the building. If you need anything, feel free to ask. I'm the one in the apartment across the hall." Jake responds, thanking her. But as he looks out the window, he sees someone standing in the window of the apartment across the street. The figure is motionless, just standing there, staring at him. He freezes, thinking it's Emily. But the figure doesn't move. It's strange how you can feel like you're being watched when no one's around, but Jake had no idea just how true that feeling was. The next night, Jake hears a faint tapping sound coming from the wall. He gets up to investigate, his heart pounding. It's coming from the apartment next door, the one that's supposed to be empty. He knocks on the door, no answer, just silence. Suddenly, the tapping stops. He turns back to his apartment, but then he hears it again. This time it's louder, more insistent. The walls seem to be vibrating with the sound, and then it stops altogether. There's nothing more unnerving than silence that suddenly stops. A moment where something feels wrong, but you can't put your finger on it. Jake's phone buzzes again, another message from Emily. Text on screen. "I hear something next door too. Maybe it's the pipes? Don't worry. I'll let you know if I find anything strange." Jake glances out the window again. The figure is there once more, standing motionless in the dark. His stomach sinks. He texts Emily back, asking if she's seen anything strange, but gets no reply. The next morning, Jake decides to confront the neighbor. He knocks on Emily's door, but no one answers. Growing increasingly uneasy, he opens the door slightly, only to find the apartment is empty. Completely bare, with no signs of life, not a single piece of furniture, just dust and silence. Jake rushes back to his own apartment, heart racing. He checks his phone again. A new message from Emily. Text on screen. "I know you're watching me, you shouldn't have looked." Jake stares at the message, horrified. He looks outside the window again. The figure is still there, but this time, it steps into view. It's not a person. It's a dark, shifting silhouette, barely human, and as it moves, it distorts the space around it like it's not quite real. There are things in the world you shouldn't look at, things that aren't meant to be seen, because once you do, they see you too. Jake panics. He gathers his things, preparing to leave. As he runs to the door, the lights flicker violently. The sound of footsteps echoes in the hall behind him, but no one is there. Then, a knock at his door. Slowly, Jake opens it, but instead of Emily standing in the hallway is nothing. The air grows thick, suffocating. He turns around to face the door, but something is wrong. His reflection in the hallway mirror isn't his. It's Emily's face, twisted in a grotesque smile. Jake wasn't the first to see the unseen neighbor, but he was the last. You don't move into an apartment like that unless you're prepared to stay. Jake screams, but the reflection in the mirror steps out of the glass, reaching for him. The last thing we see is the hallway empty, except for a pair of cold, empty eyes staring from the darkened window across the street.